Hey beauty babes, so I am back again with another brush declutter. If you have not seen my last brush declutter, I will link that in the eye. It was kind of a very last minute decision for me to film that. I was in the middle of cleaning up my office, which is an ongoing thing for me it seems, and decided like I need to get rid of some of these brushes. I have so many I need to downsize, and I thought why not film a declutter. In that video though, I did mention that those brushes I decluttered were a lot of the more like extra brushes that I had put to the side and didn't use as often. And then I also had another set of brushes that I kept on my dresser where I get ready every day, where I do my makeup every day. And I mentioned that I'd probably go through those brushes as well, but the video ended up being kind of very long. And so to save some time, I just finished the video up and figured I'd get to the second brush declutter later if there was interest. And in that video, many of you guys said that you were very interested in seeing my second brush declutter where I declutter the rest of my more everyday brushes, and so that's what this is today. So actually what I have here are, these are more of my everyday brushes that are on my dresser, and then I actually have some brand new brushes as well. Some I've had for a little while, some like this set I literally just got. We're gonna go through them and see if I want to keep them even though they're new, or if I'm gonna declutter them. If you're hearing a meow, that's my cat. He's gonna come right into the frame right now. Oh my goodness gracious, kitty. Alright, so I'm going to move off the new brushes to the side. I think I'm going to go through those last. So once I decide what I'm keeping here, I'll go through the new brushes and see what I'm going to be keeping. This I just have set aside because I recently just did makeup for a couple of girls for their winter formal dance, and so I set those aside. And oh, actually not this one. That one just got put in there because it's dirty. I set these aside in this bag so I knew I wouldn't use them again, and that I needed to wash them before I put them back into my collection. So that's why they're kind of separate. It might look a little bit strange, but there's a lot of brushes in here because I did two different girls' makeup. All right, and I do apologize that you're gonna see cat butt in this video. I don't want to be mean and shoo him away. Whenever he comes in here, he always wants to be really close to me, and so I don't want to shoo him away, so I apologize. And I'm gonna have to wash a lot of these brushes anyways, so it's fine. It's totally fine. Alright, up first I have this Beauty Junkees Pro Duo Fiber Brush. I don't know why it has some darkness here, like literally it looks like I put it in black shadow, and I don't think I did that. I think maybe one of my boys came in and was playing with some of my stuff. But anyways, I actually have maybe 3 or 4 of these brushes. This is one of my very favorite duo fiber brushes. I use it kind of for brushing away excess powder, and this is my favorite brush to use when doing that. And so I do have multiples because I just like to have backups, so when they get dirty I can put it in a dirty pile and grab for a new one in between washes. And so I love having multiples. Additionally, this is a really great brush for bronzer and stuff like that too, and as well as blush if you really want to go light-handed. I love the Beauty Junkees brushes. I think you guys know that I've raved about them before. I do work for Beauty Junkees, and I have a discount code with them. It's not an affiliate code. I don't want anything from it. I just had asked them for a discount code to share with you guys. Just so you guys have it, because it's a really great brush company, and so they gave me one that I believe is 20% off. I'll put it on the screen as well as in the description box, but I am gonna go ahead and keep this brush. And like I said, most of these brushes I will most likely keep because they're ones that I use on the regular. Alright, next up I have this from Stillazi. This is their Buff L 313 brush. It's from their, I believe it's their Luxe or Luxury Luxe collection, which is their natural hair collection, brush collection. They have natural hair as well as synthetics, and I got sent a lot of brushes from both of their collections, and this is one I like a lot. With the exception of that it sheds, and I've washed this and used this several times already, and yet every time I use it, it does seem to shed a little bit. That doesn't really bother me, but I know that's something to mention, that some people get bothered by that. That being said though, I still really like this brush. I think it's so soft and just so beautiful, and I just like to use it for like a lightly buffing in powders, setting powders, or as well as powder foundations. It just works really nice, aside from the shedding that can be kind of annoying, but it doesn't bother me too much. Next up is the Sedona Lace 850 brush, and this is another brush that I have multiples of. This is the type of brush that I use for contour. It is my favorite. Again, it's a natural hair brush. I've said this before, but I prefer natural hair brushes for my face as well as actually for my eyes, to be honest. I just find they work better. It's just my preference. I know a lot of other people prefer, you know, synthetics or whatever, but for me, I just always gravitate towards and seem to love natural hair brushes so much better. But anyways, I think I have like 3 or 4 of these just because I've purchased myself, and I've purchased backups just because, like I said, in between washes, it's nice to just set this aside and grab a new one if I'm being too lazy and you know, need to wash. So I'm gonna be keeping this. I love having my backups. This is the fan brush from Stillazi. Again, this is from their Luxe collection, which is their natural hair collection. This is fairly new to me. Like I said, I got sent a bunch of brushes from Stillazi several months back, maybe like 6 months ago, but I still find that they're fairly new to me. And I really like this a lot. It's much more of a thinner fan brush. It's not one I use a ton, but I do like using this brush. And I find that I like using this when I'm doing makeup for other people, which I don't do often. I'm not a makeup artist. I don't prefer to do makeup for other people. But when I do happen to do makeup for other people, I think this is a really nice brush to use. So gonna keep that. Another Stillazi brush. Now the ones with the white handle from Stillazi are from their Studio collection, and their Studio collection is their synthetic brush line. This is the Highlight S509. I really like this. I don't necessarily like this for highlighting, but I like this brush for setting under the eyes. And I have several brushes like this for setting under the eyes, but I just like having a variety or you know, extras for the same purpose, because it's just nice to have backups. And 2, sometimes different powders and different products work a little bit better. I really like this one because it's a little bit looser. It's not super dense. I like it for setting under my eyes with loose powders. It works just beautifully. But it works great with pressed powders as well. I just really like this brush. Alright, next up, this is another Beauty Junkees brush. This is their mini duo fiber stippling brush, and this is one that can be used with foundations or concealers because it's a little bit smaller. I have another one, it's probably over here somewhere, but it's a little bit bigger for foundation, but I like to use this for foundation or concealer. It depends. But I really love the duo fiber brushes from Beauty Junkees. Okay, one more face brush here is the Duo Fiber Precision Stipple, the S301 from Stillazi. Again, their white handle from their synthetic line, and I really like this one as well for using with concealer, especially like under the eyes and things like that. So it's a really nice brush. This again, I got, like I said, several from Stillazi these are the ones I use all the time. Really have been loving Stillazi brushes so much, and this is one you guys have probably seen me use a ton in a lot of my makeup tutorials lately. But this is the Stillazi Large Fluff, the L224. This could be really good for setting under the eyes as well, but I like to use this one for kind of setting my entire eyelid. Like if I put on primer and then want to go over my entire eyelid with like a skin tone, you know, base color, this is the brush I gravitate towards, and it's so soft. Like, oh my gosh, I just love this so much. It feels so good on the skin. So I actually want to order more. There's a couple Stillazi eye brushes that I want to order backups of just because I love them that much and I use them so much. And in this case, like because I use this on somebody else, I've set it aside and I'm not going to use it until I wash it. So it would have been nice to be able to have one that I can use and not have to wait till I wash it, or I could just not be lazy and wash it real quick. But you know, it takes some time in between, you know, using brushes or washing brushes to be able to use them again, usually the next day. So anyways, so I will keep that one. And this is the Stillazi Crease Blender. This is the L215, and this is another one that you guys see me use a ton of. It's just a big fluffy blending brush. It's it's kind of a big brush for a blending brush, but I just love this so much, especially when I want to go in with a like crease or transition color, especially like a transition color. Now I kind of say crease and transition are essentially kind of the same, but I feel like Crease is a color, like when you're doing a crease color, you're putting that kind of more in your crease. Transition, I feel like it's more of a diffused color, like a color you want diffused and soft, kind of above the crease and into the crease. And that's why I like this for transition, because it is such a big, fluffy blending brush. And I feel like it just gives a soft wash of color as well as blends like your transition so well. I just love this so much. This is another one that I want to order a couple backups of, to be honest. Okay, and then another blending brush. This is the Beauty Junkees Pro Crease Brush, and it's just like a smaller blending brush. I do believe these are synthetic. This is synthetic fibers. Anyways, I love the Beauty Junkees eye brushes. I talk about them all the time, like I said, and I have several of these, which I have another one actually down here, another crease brush, and so I'm gonna keep both of them. I love having them on hand. They're just great eye brushes. Okay, moving on, one more crease brush in here. This is the Luxie Tapered Blending. I talked a lot about the Luxie brushes in my last declutter video, and I think I decluttered a lot of the eye brushes and kept the face brushes, but I'm gonna keep this one because it does tend to come in handy. This is the synthetic bristles. The difference though, if you like when you look at this synthetic hair crease blender brush and then this one, there's something different about the black versus like these ones that just almost feel plasticky to me, and these ones don't. Like these ones feel like more like natural hair, and this just feels just too, I don't know, it's not my preference for you know, eyeshadow, but it comes in handy for cream products that I don't use that often, but every once in a while I do. So this does come in handy and I will keep that. Okay, this one's a random brush. I don't know where I got it from. I don't know how it came into my collection, but this is a MAC brush. I don't know what kind of MAC brush. It looks like this. It's a very, I don't know, it looks kind of beat up and strange, but this one it's come in handy for especially applying glitter. Like when I use it with my Bling It On glitters from MBA Cosmetics, this applies it beautifully, like for my inner corner sparkle or with cream products. A couple of these ones, okay, these are from MBA Cosmetics, and these are like their medium tapered shader brushes. I have several of these and I just love them. They come in handy for applying like shadow really close to your lower lash line. They also work really great for with concealer if you want to do a precise like cut crease kind of a look, or if you want to apply glitter. These work really well, really precisely applying glitter. So I have several of them and I really like them, and yeah, so I'm going to be keeping these. Okay, and then I have a couple pencil brushes, so many of them because of clearly I was working with two girls, and so obviously different looks. And so this pencil brush is from Stillazi. It's their pencil L220 or 220, so it is from their natural hair line. And I like this a lot, but it's not my favorite. I think I've said this before, but I do have a favorite pencil brush, which I'm going to mention here. And I think, you know, it seems weird, like you think all pencil brushes are the same, but there's not. This one's nice, but not as good as nice in my opinion as my favorite one, which is from Beauty Junkees. And you can see they're essentially the same, but this one's just a little bit longer, a little bit thinner and more pointy at the top, and then to me just feels so much, let me put this one down, just so much softer. I don't know how they do it, I don't know what's so different, but this one's soft too, but just because of the way it's cut, I don't know, it just feels like it has a little bit of roughness to it, where this is like just tapered so beautifully and so soft. So I actually have several of the Beauty Junkees Pro pencil brushes, and I actually recently got more because I just use them for so many different things and I love them. So I'm gonna keep both of these because I do like the Stillazi one and I love my Beauty Junkees ones. This one though, I think I will actually get rid of because I don't love it. It's just in my collection because, like I said, I like to use pencil brushes for a lot of things, and so I have a bunch of them. But every time I reach for this and use it, I end up like hating it. I'm like, oh, it's just scratchy and I don't like it. This is the Crown brush. It's like a C513. I think I got it in a BoxyCharm box. It is nice. It's got this little divot right here for your finger. Like, so it feels nice in the hand, but just I don't love the way this feels like the actual actual bristles feel kind of scratchy. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter that. Yay, my first declutter. I'll set this aside away from my cat's butt. And then I have this is the Morphe E19. I think it's technically a lip brush. I say that all the time, but I like to use this with glitter as well. It's just like a flat, I'm pretty sure this is synthetic lip brush. And I use it quite often for a lot of different things. Sometimes with foiled shadows when I want to get precise, you know, application. Sometimes with a cut crease, but a lot of times with glitter. This is a brush from BH Cosmetics. It came in a set. Every time I look for that set, it's always sold out. So I don't know if it's coming back. I'll try to link it, but I feel like the set is really awesome. It comes with, I think, 7 brushes in this set. And I don't think it claims to be, but the brushes in that set really, I feel like, would be really amazing for someone with hooded eyes. And one of the girls whose makeup I was doing yesterday had a little bit more hooded eyes, and so this was a really great brush to use on her because it's a blending brush, but it's almost like pointed like a pencil brush, but it has like these points right here, and then it's still a little bit fluffier right here, so you get a nice blend, but you could also really get into like the socket, if that makes sense, or like the crease. You see how like it fits right here if I'm using my hand, and how this point really gets into the crevice of my fingers right there, but also you can see where it blends out right here. Like, it's just such a good brush. But this is the number 2 brush, and there's actually another one here that's a little bit bigger. So this is a number 1 brush, this is a number 2 from that same set, and you can see this is just a little bit bigger. Same style, like shape, design, but just a little bit fluffier. And so this one's really good for a little bit more precision in blending, and this one's really good for just really getting a good soft blend. And so I'm going to keep both those, so I really like them. And then I have this brush. This is a Morphe M562. It's a very small blending brush, like a very tiny blending brush, and I've really been loving these type of blending brushes for doing my makeup because I just feel like you really get such precise blending application, and that's something I've been trying to work on, is really getting better blending and better precise application and building of colors, and these type of little tiny blending brushes do it. Now this is a synthetic one. I do also have one from Stillazi that is a natural hair, and I feel like I like the one from Stillazi better, the natural hair one. But this one's really good too, and it's really nice to have the synthetic one on hand. Even though it's synthetic, it's again different than like the Luxie brushes. There's just something about these bristles that's just a little bit different than this. I don't know what it is that makes me so picky about synthetics, but anyways, this one actually works pretty nicely, and so I do like it. I think, like I said, I have another one. I just really like using it. Okay, then I have 2 more brushes from MBA Cosmetics. I don't have anything written on them. They're just plain black brushes from MBA Cosmetics. My camera stopped recording, so sorry, I don't know where it cut off, but anyways, these are from MBA Cosmetics. I believe they are natural hair. I think it's horse hair that these are made out of. These are very soft brushes. As you can see, it's kind of a flat but kind of thick brush. These work really great with their Silk Effects shadows, or just any kind of metallic shadows. I feel like they apply products so well. So I love these. I have a couple of these. They're great. Okay, I have 2 more Beauty Junkees brushes. These are the same type of brush, and it's their Pro Definer. These are synthetic brushes that are really great. I think it's meant for like precision contouring of your nose, or like with concealer. I actually really love to use these with liquid cream shadows, like the Stila Glitter and Glows, and then the Flower Beauty Warrior Glitter shadows when I want to apply them but blend them out a little bit softer, so there's not such a harsh edge. These brushes come in handy because the shape is like kind of more flat, but it also tapers at the tip, so they come in really handy. I really love these brushes. So again, keeping and then I have a couple more blending brushes. So this is the Morphe M518, and it's just like your standard natural hair blending brush. So I'm gonna keep that. And then this one is actually a Bella and Bear blending brush. This one's a little bit more flat and wide, and not so much of a round blending brush, but I really like this one for applying some shadow as like either a highlight to the brow bone, or like a brow bone blending, like if I'm doing a little brow bone cleanup. this is the type of brush that I will use. Okay, and then lastly, I have the Beauty Junkees Pro Precision eyeliner brush, and this is a really, really great eyeliner brush. I totally feel like this is more of a brush inventory video than a declutter video, because I don't think I'm going to get rid of much of these, but still it's nice to at least go through them and see what I really am using. Oh wow, this one looks really similar. I forgot that I had this. This one looks really similar to the Stillazi one, only this one looks like it's actually doing a little bit better. This is a fan brush from MBA Cosmetics, but look how similar it is. They feel and look almost identical. I don't know if you can tell, but wow. I'm gonna guess that the MBA Cosmetics one is a little bit more affordable, and it actually looks like it's a little bit more full too. And feels actually a little bit softer. But I don't think I need both of them, because there is another one I'm keeping right here that I use a ton. And since this one's newer to me, I do want to hold on to that. Anyway, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one and pass it along to somebody else who might be able to get more use out of it. It's a great brush, nothing wrong with it. I just don't need doubles. So I'm gonna pass it along. So let's go ahead and get to this one, which I am gonna keep. This one I talked about before in my last brush declutter video, that this rollout set from MBA Cosmetics, this pink like 32-piece brush set, and I felt like a lot of the brushes were just like okay, they weren't like amazing brushes for makeup, but it's a cute set. And really the main brush that I use from that collection is this fan brush. It's actually just amazing. Now this is a synthetic brush, which like I said, I don't typically love synthetic brushes for my face or eye makeup application, but this like synthetic for a highlight is amazing. So I love this brush. I am gonna go ahead and keep this brush. Here's another fan brush. I think I used this quite a bit before, but I don't really reach for it anymore. It's a duo fiber fan brush, and so it applies very softly, but because it is duo fiber and like it's so thin, it's actually a very stiff. Like, see how this one's just like really like soft, and you can just really get a nice blend with highlighter. This one's just very stiff, and I feel like when you apply it, it really only goes in the one area where you're applying it, so it almost applies like a stripe. And you can blend it because it's duo fiber, but I just prefer for when I apply highlighter for it to blend right away and not have to like create a stripe. So I'm gonna pass this one on. I don't know what this is. It just says number 129. I feel like maybe I got it in a BoxyCharm. I don't remember, but I'm gonna pass that along. All right, this is not a brush, but I'm keeping it. This is my Makeup Miser. It's just basically a little makeup spatula. Okay, these I already can tell you I will be passing along. I just had them in here, which I didn't use them very often, but these are just, again, from that set. But I would just keep them randomly in case I need them for like quick like glitter application or concealer application of some sort, but I have other brushes for that now, so I don't really reach for these a ton, so I'm gonna go ahead and pass these along. Okay, these three I'm gonna pull out right here because two of them are the same. Well, this one's very similar too, but all these are from It Cosmetics. Two of them are the Heavenly Luxe No Tug Dual-Ended Eyeshadow brushes, and these you guys probably know if you're familiar, if you've seen any videos where I do my brows. I use these when I do my brow cleanup. So I use this side to clean up the concealer, and then this side to really like sharpen up my brows and clean up, you know, my brows. So I have two of those, and I do use both of them interchangeably. It's nice to have two, so I'm gonna keep both of them. And then I have this one that's not dual-ended, but it does have this thicker side. And so I use this for my brows too, but I tend to use this one, or I've started at least using this one when I use my, like a liquid concealer for cleaning up my brows. And then I use these ones when I do a cream concealer to clean up my brows, because the consistency is different, so it does make the bristles perform differently. So I decided I don't want to mix them up and use them for the same thing. So this will be for my liquid brow concealer cleanup, and these are for my cream brow concealer cleanup. And then I have, let's just go, I have several brushes that look like this, like a flat angled. Do I have two here, three here? Okay, yeah, a lot of these are very, very similar. So, I mentioned in my last brush declutter that I had purchased a long time ago when I was first starting out with brushes, that I purchased from Amazon or eBay, the Style Masters collection of brushes, and this is one of them. It's kind of like a flat angled kabuki, a precision one, and I like this to use these ones for precision concealer under my eyes, or applying cream products to the lid or anything like that which again, I say this all the time, I don't do that very, very often, but it's nice to have these tools when you do need. But because I do have 3 of them, I'm going to go ahead and pass this Style Masters one along, declutter that. This is a Sedona Lace one, and I pass this one along as well. And so what I'm going to keep is this one from Beauty Junkees. And because I do prefer to use Beauty Junkees brushes and do work for the brand, I'm going to be keeping this one. As you can see, it's probably the most recently used because it is a little bit dirty. These are 2 same kind of brushes as well. Oh, both of these are actually from Beauty Junkees. So I think I mentioned in my last brush declutter that I have several sets of different Beauty Junkees brushes. So I am going to go ahead and keep these. All right, so 2 more Beauty Junkees brushes. And this just, all of these brushes, like this comes like in a set. I think there's like 5. Yeah, here's the 5th one. So all of them, I'm just going to keep all of them, but this is from their like mini precision kabuki brush set. So I'm going to keep this because it is a set. And then this one is from Stillazi. It's their white handle, so it is their studio series, their synthetics. And this one's more of a domed shape, little kabuki brush. I don't think I will use this that often, and because I do have a similar one from Beauty Junkees, I kind of think I should pass this along, but part of me is like, because Stillazi is so new to me, I want to keep it. So I am going to go ahead and keep this one, but I do want to do a updated brush declutter at the end of the year and get rid of any brushes that I'm absolutely not using. But I do want to keep this a little bit longer because it is so new to me. Alright, so here is the set of brushes that are like mostly face brushes. No, all I think, yes. These are my quick grabs, the ones that I'm using the very, very most. This one is my Crown brush. I got it in a BoxyCharm box. I love this one for cream foundation, especially the Lancome Tint Idol stick foundation. This brush does beautifully with that foundation. So I'm going to keep this one, and I really love that this brush also comes with this little cover. So anyways, okay, this one is actually one of the brushes that made it past my declutter in my last video. It's from Bella & Bear, and I think in that last video I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't used this brush in forever, and I was looking at it, I'm like, I would love to use this brush and bring it back into my makeup rotation, and I actually already have. So this, I don't know what the name of it is, but it's just like this wide, I don't know how, you could just see the shape right there. It's like oval, fluffy brush, and I've actually been using this for applying a bronzer all over my face. It's just really quick and easy to do. It's very soft. It does shed quite a bit because it's more of a cheaper brush, but it applies bronzer beautifully. So I've been really loving it and glad that I've been using it. Okay, some more of those Beauty Junkees Pro Duo Fiber brushes. I told you I had several. I'm going to keep both those because I love having backups. Okay, and then I have another of the Beauty Junkees pencil brushes, which I keep in here for my face. I have it separate from my eye brushes because this is what I like to use for face highlight. Like if I want to highlight very detailed, like on my nose or inner corner or above my lip or whatever, this is the brush I reach for. And I, like I said, keep it separate from my eye brushes, so because I tend to use my eye brushes with darker shadows and stuff like that too. So I know this one's specifically for my highlight. And then an actual highlight brush. This is from Morphe. Let me see if I can read that. It's this R36. I got this at IMATS last year. I really enjoyed this for my highlight. And then this is the Real Techniques setting brush, and I love this one for setting under my eyes as well. It's a little bit more dense, and it is synthetic fibers, but it works really, really great for setting under my eyes, so I love that. This is the Lorac brush. I don't know if they still sell this anymore, or I don't really know. I haven't really kept up a ton with Lorac, but I got this brush. It's the one that comes with, or at least came with, their contour kit or contour palette. And I actually still love and use this brush. As you can see, it's just a very thin, it's like a thin line of a brush. And it's very, very soft. It's dense, but not too dense. Like, it's very movable. And I actually use this for my nose contour. I don't crazy contour up my nose, but I do add just a little bit of subtle shadow there to help give the illusion of a slightly slimmer nose, because I do have a very wide nose. And this is just the perfect brush, in my opinion, for me at this point in time, or it has been for a couple of years at least, for my nose contour. So I'm going to keep that. This is a super, super, super old brush. It's from Mary Kay. It's their cheek brush. Probably not something that's still available, but this is a brush that I love to use for blush. My cat looks so cute right now. Let me turn over to him. So, so cute. You can't even see him, I don't think. There he is. Why are you so cute? Just unbothered over here, huh? Just so unbothered. Yeah. Distracting my filming. How dare you? Okay. He's like, what? You're gonna stop petting me? What's wrong? Alright. Let's get back to this. Enough distracting me. And then I have, again, like I said, another one, and you'll see more of these. Purchased several of these because I love it for my contour. And then 2 It Cosmetics brushes. I just had this one in there just because I had it setting in there. But this is their, and I think it was like limited edition, Superstar Flawless Foundation Brush. It's supposed to be in the shape of a star, which has kind of lost its shape a little bit. But it's super, super cute. It has this like holographic handle. I don't use this one a ton, but I just like it and I'm going to keep it. It's not as great quality as this Heart one, which I'll get to in a minute. It's a lot more flimsy. So I haven't used this with foundation, but it does apply powder kind of nicely. It's just so loose, like it's not dense like a foundation brush. So I don't know, it's not my favorite brush to use, but I keep it because it's cute, and so I will keep it. And then I have the It Cosmetics Love is the foundation brush, which is their heart brush. I feel like the heart loses its shape a little bit too, but you could kind of see it. It's a really, really beautiful brush, and I'm a sucker for hearts, and plus I love It Cosmetics brushes, so I'm gonna keep this one too. I've used this for powder as well as, oh look at you, you attention seeking little turd. Anyways, and so I'm going to keep this one. It's a really great brush, and so it's so, so cute. All right, moving on to this big old tub. I'm going to try to go through this really quickly because I feel like I'm keeping most of these brushes. They're brushes I know I use a lot. Some of these are backups as well, and because I know I'm going to keep most of these, I'm just going to run through them really quick. So I know I see 2 more of, I'm telling you, like I love this Sedona Lace brush for contour. So I have, those are my backups. I have 2 of these brushes. I use these brushes all the time. These are my It Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe number 6 brush. So I have 2 of them. I love this for both cream foundation, especially like this is the one you'll see me use the most with my Makeup Forever stick foundation. Love this, but it's also a great brush for liquid foundation as well. It's just a great foundation brush in general, and so I do have 2 of them. Love them, use them both all the time, and so it's nice to have a backup, you know, in between washes, like I keep saying. And then I have, let me see, I still have 2 more. Yeah, okay. 2 more It Cosmetics brushes. These are very, very similar. So this is more of an original brush that you would have seen. This one's a very much so newer one to It Cosmetics. And this one is the Heavenly Luxe number 7 brush. It's dual-ended, so it's got the round kabuki on one side and then more of a precision, you know, little kabuki on the other side. I love this brush so much. And then this one is newer. It is called number 132 Flawless Complexion brush, and it's a little bit different. It does have this rounded kabuki, but as you can see, like the fiber hairs just are a little bit different. And something about this one, I feel like they should be kind of the same, but this one just feels a little bit different. And this side isn't rounded like the other one. This has more of a flat edge. This is just a great brush. I've been using this actually quite a bit, with just a lot of different foundations, so I love it. I'm not going to get rid of it. Okay, and then here's another one. Like I mentioned before, I had the smaller one over here. Let me grab it so you can see the size difference. But this is from Beauty Junkees, and it's their like duo fiber stippling brush. I use this one a lot for foundation, especially like in the summer when I want more sheer coverage for foundation. This is the brush I love to use because it really just buffs the foundation in and just leaves your skin just flawless, and it gives such a natural finish. If you're into more natural finish application, like a dual fiber brush like this will be like your best friend. I love this brush so, so much. I'm just gonna get these things out of the way really quick because these are all from Beauty Junkees, and these you can buy individually or in a set of their like kabuki brush set. Just like the more smaller detailed, they have the larger ones for your face. So this one I don't use a ton, but I still have it because it's in my set. It's the tapered kabuki, and a lot of people will use this for applying concealer to you know, under your eyes, or even setting under your eyes. They are synthetic brushes, and they work, you know, really well with cream products. And then I have, this one is the flat angled kabuki. I like to use this one with cream foundations as well, just because it has that angle and it's kabuki, and I really like it. So I use this one interchangeably sometimes with my MBA Cosmetics brushes. And then again, this is similar, it's just a flat kabuki brush, and again works really great with cream products as well as liquid products. I feel like this is a little bit more dense than the MBA Cosmetics brushes, so it works a little bit better in my opinion with liquid foundations, whereas I love these flat kabukis from MBA Cosmetics for cream products. But this one, because it's a little bit smaller, a little more dense, works a little bit better with liquid. So that's kind of, I still like and use both of them. Okay, and then I have this one from Stillazi. It's the kabuki, the flat. It's just, again, another flat kabuki, which maybe I don't know. I don't use this one as much because I do prefer my MBA Cosmetics ones and my Beauty Junkies ones better. So maybe this should also go in a maybe pile. Like I had this, let me pull it back out. Even though these are new to me and I really like them and I want to keep them because I do enjoy Stillazi brushes, I feel like I don't know if I'll get that much use out of these. So maybe I need to set these aside in my maybe piles. If I'm not using them, I really should get rid of them, like declutter them to somebody else who could get better use of them. So actually I'm going to take this one that I said I was going to keep and set it aside for like a maybe. Okay, so more Stillazi brushes here. Okay, so here's another duo fiber. This is their mini blender, the S302, and this looks similar to one of the other brushes. Yes, my one from Beauty Junkies. My Beauty Junkies one is a little bit wider, as you can see, but I don't know. Since I do prefer that one, I think I'm going to go ahead and set this in my maybe pile and possibly give that away. Then I have this, again, Stillazi, it's their face primer brush, the S502. And I feel like I have used this recently as well. I wouldn't use it with primer or moisturizer on my face, but I know I've used this recently and I can't remember what I used it for, but I'm going to keep it just in case. And then some more like longer duo fiber brushes. I actually have been using these. You can tell they're a little bit dirty, quite a bit. This smaller one is the duo fiber small powder, the S305, and I've been using that with blush. Works really nicely. I'm going to keep that. And then this duo fiber large powder, the S307, I've been using with setting powder as well as bronzer at some times. So I'm going to go and keep that one. Okay, and then here are my Luxie brushes. One of them I actually did use with some blush recently, so apparently I am putting them into use. So I'm going to go ahead and keep both of these. Okay, this one is from Stillazi as well. It's their Chisel and Cheek, or Cheek and Chisel L309. So it's the black handle, which is their natural hair brushes. This one is really, I like it a lot. I don't use it often, but I do like it for a precise contour. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that. Then I have two more brushes. This is an old Bare Minerals brush. Back when they were still selling like on TV, pretty much you could do a TV special and buy the pots of foundation and bronzer and concealer, and they had 3 different brushes that came with it. There was a concealer brush, which I still have. I have the kabuki brush, and then I have this brush. And this one was supposed to be the bronzer brush originally, but this is a brush that I actually use with blush every so often. So I really like it, and also it's very kind of nostalgic for me because it's like one of the first makeup brushes like set that I've ever I think in my life purchased. So I'm gonna keep it. And then lastly in that set was this MBA Cosmetics Wand Ball powder brush. It's the number 8 brush. I like this for powders. So anyways, I am gonna keep that. Okay, really quickly I had to pull over here because I know that this was in my last brush declutter. This was the Max Coverage Concealer brush. That's what came with the set. And this one that I just mentioned, this was supposed to be used for contouring or bronzing up. And then this was the original kabuki brush that came with it as well. And I can't believe how it's still in such good condition. I haven't used this in ages. It's kind of like dirty and dusty, but I still have it. I keep it for just those reasons, like I said, nostalgic reason. This is the foundation brush, and you'd put your, you know, your Bare Minerals loose powder foundation in a little bit in the cap, and you swirl your brush around, then you tap off the excess, and then you would use this to buff the foundation all over your face. But I still remember that, and that's my set that I can't believe I still have, but I do. Okay, this video is so long and I apologize. I hope I'm not rambling too much, you guys, but I'm kind of enjoying just talking about, like, I just love makeup brushes. I'm really enjoying talking about all of them. Okay, So again, most of these I'm pretty sure I will keep. All right, so I've kind of sorted everything out. So up first is this one. I have one of these because it's a Beauty Junkees brush and it came in a set. And this is their angled shading brush. I'm gonna keep this because, like I said, it comes with my Beauty Junkees set. And I don't know if this is like making sense, but because I do work for Beauty Junkees, I do create content for them and create demos for them. So even though there are some brushes you'll hear me say I don't use this that often, but I'm going to keep it because it belongs to my set, is because there may be times I need to create demos with these products and use them. And even though I don't use them on the regular, they are still great quality brushes, and there's other people who use tools differently or prefer, you know, certain brushes that maybe I don't. It's not that I don't like the brush or the quality, it's just I don't specifically use them in my makeup application a ton. So anyways, I am going to keep this. I used to use this type of brush all the time, but I just don't really anymore. Okay, and then two brushes here. These are like synthetic blending brushes. So like I said, again, I don't use a ton of like this type of synthetic blending brushes, but it's nice to have on hand for the occasions when I do. This one is from Classy Pink Boutique. And then this one's from Sedona Lace. It's their EB13. Okay, moving on. I have 3 of these, and I think I had one more that I mentioned earlier that was in the set of brushes that I used for makeup for those girls the other day. But this, I have several because I love this brush. I guess I don't use it as often as I used to, but this used to be my go-to brush for blending into the crease and just so many different things, but especially crease. This is the Sedona Lace EB09. So if you've been with me for a long time, you've heard me say this brush name over and over again, but it is a blending brush that is kind of a flat, tapered blending brush. So as you can see, it has this flat like line shape, but it tapers at the very tip, meaning it comes to like the tip of a house, you know, points in shapes, but it also can fluff out a little bit, and and so it works great as a blending brush. I think this is the kind of brush that would work really great probably for if you have hooded eyes as well, just because it's going to get that precision in there, but also fluffs right here to blend. It's just a great brush to have, but it works for all kinds of things, whether getting into the crease, whether applying product to the lid, or even applying product to the brow bone. It's just a beautiful brush that I love to have, and so I have several on hand. Obviously you can see they've been used quite a bit. So I'm going to keep those. Okay, let's look at my blending brushes that have like that black hair, which again, I think I said earlier is synthetic, but I could be wrong. Maybe this black hair is natural. I really don't know for certain. Well, no, this one I know is not, because the Stillazi ones with the white handle, that's synthetic. So that's why I think that these all are synthetic, but it's a different kind of synthetic, like I showed earlier, from this type of synthetic. They feel different. And so when it comes to these kind of blending brushes, I actually do like these type of blending brushes. And so I do have a couple of these. One I know is from Beauty Junkees, and then another one from Beauty Junkees, tapered blending, and then this one, is from Sigma. It's their tapered blending. So here you can see again another comparison, like I showed in my last video, comparing Sigma to Beauty Junkees. They're very similar. If you look, like if I turn these around, it'd be really hard for you to probably tell, you know, which brush is which. They're very comparable, I think, although these Junkies is just a little bit more affordable. So, and oftentimes when I'm grabbing these brushes specifically, I'll try to, before I look at the handle, just try to guess which brush is which, and I never get it right. Sometimes I'll grab a brush and I'm like, oh, this feels so good, it's such good quality, it must be the Sigma one, you know, under the assumption, I'm doing quotations here, under the assumption that Sigma, being more expensive, is going to be the better quality, but I'll use it and then I'll look at it and I'm like, oh, this is my Beauty Junkees one. So, you know, to me, I feel like they are the same. I know Sigma has a cult following. I do have an affiliate code with Sigma. I do think they are great quality brushes, but not everybody can afford that price. So if you know, are that somebody, but you still want good quality, I always recommend Beauty Junkees. All right, and then the last one is here, the from Stillazi, and this is their large blender, the S212 blending brush. These ones I have, all are the same brand except for one. So these are my brushes that I like to use for foiled shadows or glitters, or like I mentioned in my last brush declutter video, I use these for when I apply pressed glitters, especially the MBA Cosmetics Chroma Lights pressed glitters. So several of these are actually the Royal & Langknickel BX80 brush, which I love. So I'm going to keep all 3 of these. I purchased all of them myself. Oh, except for one of them came in BoxyCharm, which I used to buy BoxyCharm myself. So technically, yes, I purchased it myself. I love having backups of it because they come in handy. Then additionally, this is the Royal & Langknickel BX66, which I purchased this at IMATS. It was in the little section with the BX80 brush, so I kind of accidentally purchased this thinking I was buying 2 BX80 brushes, and I instead got a BX80 and a BX66. But it's a similar type of brush, it's just a little bit different of a shape, so I'm still going to keep it and use it. And then this one is the Makeup Geek foiled eyeshadow brush. I bought this because I thought I wanted to see how well it worked with foiled shadows, and I just thought it was okay. I don't know, I wouldn't say it was like a total waste of money, but there's other shadows or other brushes, like especially like these, that work just the same, but maybe even better. So this is okay. I think I'm gonna put this in my maybe pile because I don't reach for it a ton. I reach for my other brushes. I think I just like them. This one's a little bit shorter, a little bit more dense. I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this in my maybe pile about giving away because I don't actually reach for this a ton. 2 more from MBA Cosmetics, those little guys here. I'm going to keep them. I love having backups of them. And then again, I have, oh, this one looks very similar to it, but this one's from Stillazi. So these are some more of that same type of brush from MBA Cosmetics that I like to use. It's just a little bit bigger. And then this one is very same type of brush, but this one's from Stillazi. It's their small shadow brush, the L221. This one is from Beauty Junkees. It's their Pro Concealer brush, and I love this brush. It's just become a go-to brush for me as well, for glitter, for concealer, for using on the eyes, for foiled shadows as well. It's just a very versatile brush, and I really, really like it. It's very, very flat, but also long, so I like that. And this is another brush. I don't use this as often. Maybe I should pass this one along, but this is one that I would use for the same ways that I use those other brushes, as well as I like to use this one for concealer too. This was dual-ended, but I never used this pathetic little other side. It's so weird. I think I will pass this along. I don't think I really need it anymore. And then another one from Stillazi. Oh, this is a really great one as well. This is their Shadow Fluff Brush, the L213. And I've been loving this for applying shadow all over the lid. It's so soft, but it's dense and slightly flat, but thicker. It's very, very nice. Okay, and then similar to that, I have these 2 from Beauty Junkie. So I have 2 of these ones. This is very similar to that one that I just mentioned from Stillazi, except for the Stillazi one's a little bit thinner, whereas these ones are a little bit more wide. But these are really great for packing on shadow all over the lid as well. Okay, moving on. Like I said, I just recently got some more of the Beauty Junkies Pro Pencil brushes because I love them and I can never have enough. So I'll be taking those out of their little sleeves, and I'm keeping those. Okay, and then I have this Stillazi large pointed crease brush. I'm going to keep that one. And then I have these, let's see, yeah, all 3 of these are Morphe, and I'm pretty sure I purchased these at IMATS last year just because I was trying to grab a bunch of different kinds of brushes that I thought would help me with blending a little bit more. I was trying to get better into blending and precision blending. And I found that I have been using these smaller ones, but not so much this one. This one's just a little bit too fat for what my preference. So I think I'm going to pass it along. This one is the Morphe E17, but I have been using these smaller ones, which oddly enough, they're different. They look exactly the same, except for this one is the M507 and this one's the M506. So the only thing I could say is a little bit different is this one looks slightly tapered, a little bit more like thinner at the top, but essentially they're like the same. I thought they were the same brush, I think. Okay. Then some more precision brushes. So I already mentioned this one earlier. This is the Morphe 562. So obviously this is the second one I have. I really like it. It's nice to have extras of these. This one's synthetic. And then just to show you comparison, because I mentioned earlier I have one from Stillazi. This is the natural hair version of it. So you can see that the natural hair one is a little bit whiter. You could see it's a little bit more, I don't know, maybe it looks a little bit more roughed up, but for me, I feel like it applies a little bit better. The synthetic one's a little bit softer, whereas the natural one's a little bit scratchy, but not crazy scratchy, but I still prefer the natural one better. So, and I want to get some more of this one from Stillazi, the natural one, because I use it a lot, and it would be nice to have a backup of the natural hair one. And then this is not quite the same. This one actually looks kind of like my favorite from Sedona Lace, the EB09, because it is that kind of wide, flat but tapered kind of brush. But this is just very, very, very small. And this is actually the Bodyography flat shader brush. All right, so then let's move on to some blending brushes. Now these are some of them are more rounded and some of them are more like wide flat, but these are all like natural hair blending brushes. I have one from Morphe, I use this all the time. Here's one from Stillazi, it's their color blend, the L211. Use that quite often as well, so I'm going to keep it. This one is from Beauty Junkees, it's their Pro Blending. Looks like this. I think I have a couple more of them. Yep, here's another Pro Blending. Just depending on like how often you use them, some of them look a little bit whiter and more used than and broken than others. This one is from Morphe, again, just that similar shape, not quite rounded, more like an oval shape. Oh, I actually had another, I mixed it in with these ones, but here's another Sedona Lace EB09 brush. Another Morphe, this is the R39, just another one of those. I have several of these because I just love the natural hair brushes. And then this one is the Morphe R40, a very, very wide and kind of, I feel like almost, I don't want to say complete dupe because I can tell a difference when I'm using them, that it's not quite the same. I always grab this one thinking it's the Smith 232 brush, but then once I start using it, I'm like, this is not performing the way I remember it, and I realize, oh, this is my Morphe one. So very, very similar, but I still think I like my Smith one a little bit better, which I should because it's quite a bit more expensive. But as you can see, they look pretty similar in shape and size. So oftentimes, like I said, I'll reach for this one thinking it's my Smith one and then realize, oh, it's not my Smith one. So I have that, and then I have, so like I just said, the Smith 232, and then along with that I have the Smith 230, which is the smaller version of the Smith 232. And I purchased these two at IMATS last year as well, and I plan to actually purchase a couple more when I go to IMATS this year because I just really love this brush. I could usually do a whole look sometimes with just these two brushes, and so I love them. They're great quality and I want more of them. Even though I have all these that are very somewhat similar, these ones I just love. All right, and so here I have some smudgy brushes. So this one, I don't know actually why I put it over there. It's kind of more of a blending brush, but it's a little bit more of a flat one. It's kind of a weird shape. This one's from Stillazi. It's their blender, the S211. I don't think I use this one as much because it has such a weird shape, but I'm gonna stick it in my maybe pile. Then I have another Stillazi brush. This is their smudge brush. I really like this one. And then I do have another smudge brush from Bella and Bear. Very, very similar. I do use smudge brushes every so often. These two I'm pretty sure are both Beauty Junkees. Yep, Beauty Junkees flat definer brushes. I use these ones very often as well. And then another Stillazi, this is called their flat concealer. I'm going to keep that because I know I use it. And finally, some last ones. These ones are all my very tiny precision or liner brushes. So I have this one from Real Techniques. Is their detailer brush. I use this often with glitter or when I really want precise application with foiled or metallic eyeshadow. This does a really great job because it is synthetic. It really does a great job at packing on metallic shadows and getting them to show up. I've used this especially with like Anastasia shadows. I love that. Then I have this one, which looks like a very, look how sharp that little guy is. It's a very sharp angled mini. It's their S203 brush from Stillazi. So love that. Don't use those kind of brushes very often, but when I need them, they come in handy. And then again, a Pro Precision eyeliner brush. Love that one. This is from BH. That one wow, that one collection or set. This is the number 6 brush, but it's just like a little kind of small precision smudgy brush. And then you guys have seen me use this one a ton as well. This is from that same BH collection, and it's the number 7 brush, which is a bent liner brush. I use this especially when I'm doing glitter cut creases, or just cut creases in general, because I could use this with shadow to get a precise line. You guys have seen me do that. Then another angled liner brush from Stillazi. This is the S204. Gonna keep that. This one's another Morphe brush that was technically a lip brush, but I like to use... Ah, cat! You knocked over my stuff, you little turd. I'm gonna keep this because I like this for a variety of different things, as well as like several, like I've mentioned with other products, foiled shadows, glitters, things like that. Just comes in handy. And then this last one here is from Sigma. It's their Smudge E21. It's just a very tiny smudge brush. I love this one for especially applying shadows close and tight up to the lower lash line. All right, so moving on to the brushes that are brand new, I haven't even opened. This one I literally just got in the mail a couple days ago from Pixie Beauty, and it came with 2 of their brand new eyeshadow palettes, and I think this is actually adorable. It came with this cute little case and then 3 brushes in here. And so I am going to keep these for the time being because I do want to test these out and see how well they perform, because I'm going to assume they are drugstore brushes and therefore will be quote unquote affordable. However, I do know that Pixie Beauty is kind of on the higher end of pricing for the drugstore, so they may be expensive. I haven't had a chance to actually look at the pricing or anything like that, so I will have to do that later. But I'm gonna keep these and use these for an upcoming video testing out the brushes as well as one of the palettes. And just a heads up for you guys, if you've made it this far, to let you guys know, I will most likely be doing a giveaway in that video and giving away one of the palettes because I know I don't need both of them in my collection, and as pretty as they look, I just don't think they will get the use that they deserve. So I will be probably giving away one of those palettes in that giveaway, or in that video, so stay tuned. But I just want to say right away, right off the bat, these are synthetic brushes, and I can tell, I just feel like just by looking at them, and this might seem really unfair, but just by looking at them, I feel like I won't like these. Because I know, and I've said it a million times in this video already, I prefer natural hair brushes so much more than I do synthetics. I just don't like the way these apply shadow on my lids. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to explain it. I just don't like it. I don't like the way they look. Other people can make them work and look great. For me, I just am like, I don't like the way they look and blend out product. I really don't. Anyways, I am going to keep those for now, but most likely will end up decluttering these, just so there's a little heads up there. Okay, and then these are actually extras that I have not opened, did not use yet, that I purchased at IMATS last year. This is like just an extra of the M506 and M507, which I said I was keeping, but I actually don't reach for those a ton, so I think I'm going to go ahead and just declutter these and give these away, because I have other like kind of similar brushes that are kind of like pencil-like brushes that I just use more and reach for more, so I'm going to go ahead and pass these along to somebody. And then this one I actually think I will take out of the package and keep, because I have been really enjoying, like I said, these little lip brushes for alternative uses. Okay, and then I have these from Sigma. When I first got on their PR list and joined their affiliate program, they sent me a bunch of brushes. A couple of them I opened up right away and used and put in my collection, which you guys have seen a couple of them in my collection in this video as well as my last brush declutter video. And then I had these ones, which I kind of just were like, I have similar brushes, I don't want to open them just yet. I will maybe get around to opening them if I feel like I need them, but then I just have not yet. So here we're going to look at them and I'm going to decide if I'm going to keep them or not. So up first we have this is the E55 eye shading brush. I'm going to keep these all in their package because if I pass them along, I would like to pass them along new. I feel like I should keep it, but also I know I'm so set in my brushes and the ones I use, I don't feel like I need another one of this type of brush. I think as you guys saw, I had like 4 of these type of brushes, but even then, I don't use them that often. I don't think. There's other ways I prefer to apply like my shadow all over my lid, and I have the ones I use that I think work great, but I don't think I need an extra one, so I am going to go ahead and pass this one along. And it's funny because I almost feel like I should keep these and force myself to put them into rotation, because if I want to be a good quote-unquote Sigma affiliate, then I would be using these brushes and pushing them, I guess, a little bit more to, you know, to get people to maybe buy from using my affiliate links or my affiliate codes. But I don't know. It's not that I don't like Sigma brushes. It's just that I don't feel like I have to push these brushes or a certain brand. Yes, you'll see me using other brands and maybe kind of quote unquote pushing them, but not really. It's just because those are the ones I prefer to use and really, really love. It's not that I don't like Sigma. It's just that I love to have and offer affordable options. But like I said, I chose to become an affiliate because I know there's people who love Sigma, and if you guys want to support me and would like to use my Sigma affiliate links or codes, then I would absolutely appreciate that. But I don't feel like I need to shove it down your throat that here, use Sigma and I prefer Sigma over this. Why? Because I have an affiliate code with them. Like, I don't want to come across that way. I don't want to push the Sigma because I have an affiliate with them. If you like Sigma and want to purchase them and you have the money to purchase up, you know, more name brand quality, then I would love it if you use my discount code and stuff like that, but I don't feel the need to push it. Anyways, okay, I'm just going around in circles. So anyways, this next one is the E17. This is the water liner. It actually, I don't know if you could tell because I'm not taking it out, but I think you kind of see right here. It's like a very flat, kind of smudgy brush, but long. I'm kind of intrigued by this. I don't think I have anything like this in my collection, even though I have smudgy brushes, but that like this, I'm not quite sure. And I've never had a waterline brush, so I'm kind of intrigued by this. I'm gonna put it in my little maybe pile and see if I can put it in my rotation. And if I don't end up using it, this will be something I maybe declutter later. Okay, this one I kind of feel like already I will go ahead and pass along. This is their F15 Duo Fiber Powder Blush Brush. And this looks actually really beautiful, but as you saw, I had several other duo fiber brushes from Beauty Junkees as well as Stillazi that I really like, and I just don't think I need another one. But someone else I know will get good use out of this. Duo fiber brushes are really, really great, and I always hear, like I said, great things about Sigma quality. I just don't need another one in my collection. Okay, up next, this is the Sigma F80 Flat Kabuki Brush. This is like one of the ones that I swear started it all for Sigma. Maybe not, but it's one of the ones that I remember seeing the most in the beginning when it was all about Sigma. And part of me feels like I should keep it and use it, but again, like I said, I have two similar brushes like this from It Cosmetics that I love and use all the time. I also have the one from Beauty Junkees that I love and use all the time. I have this one that I have in my maybe pile that I think I'm gonna get rid of. And so, oh, part of me feels like, should I use this? Should I not? I don't think I will. I have so many of them. Do I need it just because it's Sigma? I don't think so. I think if I didn't have extras, I would keep this and I would use it because I love a flat top kabuki. I do. But I already have several others that I love and use all the time. I just don't need an extra. I just feel like it would be very selfish of me to keep this just because it's Sigma. So I am going to go ahead and pass it along. It makes me kind of sad, but I am going to. Then I have this one, which I'm not, it's a little bit dusty because I have had these for a little bit. This is the large powder brush. I'm curious actually to take this out and see what it feels like. It is one of those black hair brushes, which in my experience, every other brand I've tried with black hairs tend to shed if they're not like a higher brand or if they're a little bit cheaper quality. So I'm kind of curious if this one would shed like the other ones do. But I don't know if I absolutely need another powder brush. I don't know. I kind of want to put this in my maybe pile. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put it in my maybe pile. Okay, and then lastly I have this F64 Soft Blend Concealer Brush. I'm trying to make sure you can see it, what it looks like. This looks like a really nice brush. It almost looks like it's a natural hair brush as well, but I don't know for sure. Function Soft Concealer Blend. Recommended use, best for buffing and evening out concealer applied with a light hand on large scale areas or all over the face. Yeah, I don't know if it's synthetic or natural hair. It kind of to me looks like natural hair, but I could be wrong. I'm actually really intrigued by this brush as well, but do I need another concealer or under eye setting brush? I really don't. But I kind of think I want to put this in my maybe pile as well. I'm going to think about it a little bit more and I might end up giving it away as well with these other ones, but anyways, that's pretty much it for this brush declutter video. Oh my gosh, this ended up being more of a brush inventory video, which maybe I'll just label as that because I didn't declutter much. Let me put over here everything I decluttered. These are my declutter items. So really not very much, but like I said in the beginning, My first brush declutter video was with a lot of brushes that I didn't really use every day. They were just kind of sitting there collecting dust. So I decluttered a ton of brushes from that. Whereas these are brushes that I have on my dresser that I pretty much, for the most part, use every day. And so I had a feeling I'd be keeping most of them. But I'm glad to at least see I am decluttering a little bit of them. And then even some new ones that I can gift away to somebody. And then just to show you really quick, here are my maybes. These are brand new ones, and I actually kind of think, now that I'm sitting here thinking about it and looking at this, that I think I will give these ones, declutter these ones too, and just give them away because, and it hurts my heart to do it. I know that seems crazy, but I'm just the type that holds on to things so much. My husband calls me a pack rat, but I don't feel like I'm a pack rat. I don't know. Maybe I am. Anyways, it's just because they're so new to me, and I appreciate so much being sent them, but if I'm not using them, I feel like it's kind of pointless for me to keep them and be selfish. So I do think I'm going to go ahead and pass these along, and then I will kind of open these up this week and see if I play around with them, see if I will end up putting them to use in my collection, and if not, they will be passed along as well. But anyways, with all that being said, I just want to thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this declutter video. I am very new to decluttering, so I really hope that this wasn't like too boring or too long or whatever for you. I do hope you enjoyed it. Please be sure to leave a comment letting me know what kind of declutter video you'd like to see next. But until next time, I just want to thank you again so much for watching. Until next time, much love and hugs to you. Bye, beauty babes.